Hi, guys. Special guest star. I have my husband here. This is such a fun topic. I'm so excited. Okay, so I'm Jen Burson. For anyone that doesn't know me, I'm a founder of Generation PR, full service PR social media marketing firm here in Los Angeles. And I'm also the creator of the Profitable PR Pros community. You may be watching this in that community or on our Generation PR page. And I've invited my husband, Kevin, here to
Hello.
join us. So tell us about yourself. Who are you? What do you do?
So my name is Kevin. I am a merger and acquisition advisor. I help business owners sell their businesses for maximum value, and we are a full service firm. We start with evaluation.
Yep.
So make sure that business owners are aligned and we're aligned with them on value. We'll help them go find buyers, and we'll work with attorneys and CPAs to get the deals closed.
Got your dream team in place. Yeah, so Kevin started his own business, what, like
7 years ago.
seven or so years ago, which is so awesome. And as many of you know, anyone who's kind of followed my story, I was a civil litigation attorney. Kevin and I met, and I was still practicing law. And actually, I think I left one of my jobs at a firm midway when we were just starting to talk, and he kind of lost touch with me, and then you had to track me down again at my next firm.
I did. Our mutual connection. I had to go back to her and say, well, you gotta help us out here. We had a good rapport going. We lost email. Give me a new email. Give me some contact here. So
Where'd this girl go?
exactly.
Yeah, so right after we got serious, probably about a year or so into our relationship, I decided I was going to leave law and start my own PR firm out of thin air, like totally from scratch with no experience, no contacts. Was that crazy to you? How did that?
No, it was not crazy. Nothing that you do is crazy. I saw that you were going to give it your all. There was kind of a turning point. I was starting business school right when you were decided to do
Oh,
this, and there
yeah.
was like a decision point where you could have hung out with me for a week and played golf and laid by the pool, and you're like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go start my career, start my next thing. So that was a pretty good indication that you were very serious about it, and you're very easy to bet on. So anything that
Oh,
you're going to
thanks.
fully explore, I'm 100% on board.
Yeah, I remember that. He kicked off business school. His program, the executive MBA, kicked off at the Ojai Valley Inn, which is like super nice. And he said, "Hey, I've got this room. I'm going to be in class all day, but we'll probably get to see each other a little bit. Why don't you come? Now that you left your job and you probably want to take some time to kind of gather yourself before you start your new business." And I was like, "Yes, I'm coming. I'm going to go to the spot. I'm going to hit golf balls. It's going to be amazing." And I got there late on like a Sunday or Saturday night because I was at my friend's wedding. I basically drove up late at night. Woke up on Sunday, kind of hung out a little bit. You started the MBA program Monday. So Monday morning I woke up and was like, holy crap, I don't have a job. I got to get out of here. I can't like mooch off this guy and
No mooching.
no
Not a
mooching,
moocher.
not a moocher. So, okay, good. I see people are on. It took a minute. Can you guys hear me okay? Anybody who's on live, let us know if you can hear us because I was having audio issues last week and I had to start over and it sucked. And since we have our special guest star, Kevin, I want to make sure we're maximizing Kevin's time. So let me know in the comments. I know we're a little delayed, but anyone who's here, let me know. So started this job out of thin air. That was my pivot. And I think that what helped us in that process. So we were dating, but I think we were living together at that point, and oh no, we weren't, because I still had my place in Santa
Mm-hmm.
Monica. Yeah. Okay, great. Awesome. Thank you so much, Kelly. Hi. So I had my place in Santa Monica, and so we weren't living together yet, but we were pretty serious. But I looked at it like for my own sanity, I needed to have a timeline that made sense to me where I gave it enough time to um, give it a go, as you would say. We're going to give it a go, right? So for me, that was 6 months, and that meant 6 months of cash. And it also meant, and which, when you have expenses and you live in California and you have a mortgage, it's a lot, but I planned for it. And, I think insurance wise, I was able to get on your insurance as a domestic partner.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So like your company was so awesome and let me do that. And that took a huge weight off of me, which was really empowering. But then when you left your job, I think one of our biggest,
We got nothing.
we got nothing.
We got California Exchange.
Yeah, it's terrible. And he handles that every year. But I think that was, I mean, now it's like, who cares? It's an expense and whatever, but it's like, we're living our dreams. But I remember when I first started, I was really passionate about what I was going to be doing. And you were like very bought into that and really supportive. And I have to say that you made me feel empowered, like I could do anything. And as long as I was just betting on myself, it was going to be successful.
Yeah. And I'm laughing because some of your family members didn't think the same way. But no, of course, like I said, if you're, I could tell that you were very serious about it. You were going to work your butt off. You were going to find contacts. You were going to hustle, and you were going to figure it out. And once I got that sense of confidence that you were going to do it, of course I supported you.
Yeah. And I know my mom watches the replays. Hi, Mom. I always say hi to my mom because she always watches. So say hi, Claudia.
Hi, Claudia.
But yeah, I mean, I think for my parents, it was very scary because, law is very, it's predictable. The income is really good. I walked away from like $150,000 base salary as a 27-year-old, plus bonus, and I had a mortgage payment, but like I said, I planned, and I think Kevin saw my passion and, knew that, the risk wasn't as big because I would make it work. Whereas my parents were just like, they don't want to see their kid fail. And obviously I don't want to have to like pay for me at any point again in my life. If I come back and say that didn't work out, can you give me, that never happened. I never had to ask, but yeah, I mean, I just feel like in the beginning I had a timeline. I would recommend, have a plan. What is your plan? Share that with your partner. Get their buy-in. I'm going to just kind of tell you from my perspective when I left, and then Kevin many years later, we'll talk about how he was able to do that. But he was working in a stable corporate job, W-2, had a way to help me get health insurance, which was a huge benefit. I don't know that I would have felt as confident if he didn't believe in me, if he didn't see my vision and wasn't bought into my vision and didn't give me some of that stability. So then when he went to leave his job, it was extremely important for me to give him the same gift of confidence and stability. So tell us about that. How long did I harass you to leave your job before you did it?
I don't know. I had a really good corporate job. I was at a company for over 10 years, and they were really good to me. I was able to basically create my own job within the company.
Every
4 or 5 times every 2 years, I would get bored and I would try something new.
Every time he'd try to leave, he'd be like, "I'm out of here," and they'd be like, "What can we do to get you to stay?"
They were great. They paid for my MBA, and this got me on my path that I'm on now, which is mergers and acquisitions, thanks to that company. So they're really good to me. But at a certain point, I was turning 40, and I was just kind of thinking, if I could go try to get another corporate job, but where am I gonna be in 10 years if I do that? So Jen encouraged me, and I definitely have. I have confidence in my skills. I've been working for 25 years at this point. I've worked in consulting. I thought that if I went out there, I could go find work just like Jen did. I would hustle. I would figure it out. I have skills. I have contacts. I have relationships. People that have worked with me in the past would most likely hire me. So I thought I would give it a go. And this is 7 years ago, and it's been an incredible decision. I'm so glad I did it.
Oh my God, so glad.
It's been very fulfilling.
Yeah, and I think with Kevin, all of the things he's saying is how I viewed it. I don't think when he left his job, he knew what his path was going to be. He most certainly didn't.
I did not.
but I knew he had a strong network, really great professional reputation, many years working with a lot of different people that had all gone out into the world and gone to different places. And he's just really a good networker and very reliable and responsible. So I knew, if anything, never questioned his work ethic. And I think for Kevin, the fact that you didn't have a plan, I think was a little scary for you. I think you wanted to have everything figured out before you
Jen's way more of a risk taker than I am.
Yeah.
I'm more conservative. I tend to think in spreadsheets and analytics and data. So like going with my gut is something that I'm still working on. And
I laugh because he literally makes a spreadsheet for every decision.
I haven't done that I haven't done that in like 10 years. But I used
Did
to
you make a spreadsheet for me?
No
spreadsheet?
No, not for you.
Okay,
not
good.
For you.
He just knew.
I just knew.
Other
women's, there were spreadsheets.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
Oh, God. No, I think that I knew that he would get it all sorted out, that it would, like, the path would emerge, that, some of the best, most exciting careers are nonlinear. And you figure out, and this is what I tell you guys when it comes to finding your niche, carving out your niche. It's like, do things, see what you like, see what you have success in, go in that direction. Would you say that everything that you did in your career and when you started consulting and you left on your own, it was all stepping stones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like really hard when you're in the moment to kind of see the path that you're on, but 10, 15, 20 years later, it all makes perfect sense. I mean, the path. So, I got my first job in law school. When I was an undergrad, I worked at a law firm, and that experience made me decide that I didn't want to go into law.
He was smart.
But I saw that these guys were incredible attorneys, but not the best business people. So I thought that there would be an opportunity to help them from a business side, and that's what launched me to get into consulting.
Mm-hmm.
And then in consulting, I learned how to run projects and be a good project manager. And then I went to Technicolor, and that's when I got into M&A, and we started working on these really big deals. We sold RCA for a billion dollar deal, and I learned a lot about M&A and got really excited about it. And then when I went out on my own, I didn't even really know that there was going to be an opportunity to do M&A because I didn't really want to go join an investment bank. It's not really what I wanted to do.
No.
But then I went out there and started consulting, and the path led me to family businesses. And I was able to work with these business owners and help them sell their companies. So it's like just the skills that I developed all kind of added up and led me to this path.
Yeah,
which I never would have been able to predict.
Right, and you couldn't predict it because this community that you support has really never been served. There's like investment bankers that do billion-dollar deals, and then business brokers, like Main Street business brokers that sell like yogurt shops and dry cleaners, and Kevin selling, 9-figure manufacturing companies, for, and different companies in manufacturing and, other kinds of businesses. So it's like this middle, he always says lower middle market. I don't like how it sounds. I think it sounds like low
Like
brow.
complex litigation.
Okay. So I was a litigator and I specialized in complex civil litigation, and he thinks that's so like douchey for me to say complex.
Yeah, it can't just be litigation.
No, but it is complex civil litigation.
It's all complex.
It's all complex. Yeah, no, but anyway, so it's a thing, just like he says lower middle market, and I think it sounds lowbrow or trashy, and he's like, no,
it means something in my world.
Yeah, it means something. So, but when you left, I think the decision was harder for you. I think also as a man and as a dad and a husband, you have this added pressure to, be an earner and provide for.
I'm 40. We have mortgages. I have kids, and it's like, the severance is going to run out pretty quickly.
Oh yeah.
I got to make something happen here. So I hustled, and it took some time. It definitely took some time. My first year was not incredible, but my second year was really good, and every year has been better than the previous one. So it's been awesome. So glad I did it.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm so glad that you did it. So we're going on 7 years now. He does have an office space, so the logistics of it. So I have always worked from home, 16 years running my agency. When we moved into this house shortly thereafter, we were so lucky. Another thing he reluctantly agreed to do, but we were on HGTV. and they designed my home office that I have worked in for the last 10 years. And I have the best room in the entire house, would you say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've got a great view, and I have such an inspiring workspace that makes me feel so lit up every single day. And when he left, he, I think right away you were working like kind of at the kitchen table, and then you
When
got
I
a,
started, I was like going from like Starbucks to
oh
Starbucks, and
God.
it's like I realized I'm never gonna be able to take a phone call here. It's just not gonna work. So I started going to different co-working spaces, and that was found a really good one by our house, and
Mm-hmm.
it actually was a pretty nice community. And I started to meet
Mm.
some contacts there, and it helped me find work. And one of the people I worked with was an attorney, and I brought him in a couple of my merger and acquisition deals, and did a few deals with him, and it
Mm-hmm.
led me to this other networking group. So yeah, the co-working space was great. It was really a great
Yeah.
launching pad for me.
And then now he has an office, which he hasn't really visited in the last year, over by our kids' school. And I went there one day on a Sunday and like fully decorated it for him. And it's like really
It's cool.
cool. It's like urban chic. Had a lot of fun at Home Goods. He was like, "What's the plan here?" And I'm like, "Just trust me."
I trust.
And it looks good.
It
Yeah.
does look good.
Yeah.
It's great.
So he has a place to go to. So he has in the pandemic been working from home at our dining room table. And I think the challenge with that has been having the kids at home.
I
There's,
did it for a year. I'm done. I'm back in my office now. Basically,
yeah,
I need to go back to my office.
yeah.
It's
I
good
think
for my mental health.
it's good for, yeah, it's good for our relationship and
Yes, it
everything.
is.
But I think once the kids are back in school too, it'll feel more normal. But I think just having our own space. So we're a two entrepreneur household. We go on date nights. We both look to each other for counsel in our businesses. And so it's really hard to go out on date nights when we get alone and not want to talk about the businesses and the kids. Like that's what we talk about. And we try to, maybe we talk more about like what we're grateful for, or he always has to have a trip on the books. So
Yep.
he's planning a trip. Where are we going? Where do we want to go? Um, I think even planning a trip is good for you versus
Totally.
like even if we have to cancel it because of the
Yeah, I just
pandemic,
need to
you're
have
just
something to look forward
something to
to.
look forward to. So that's like what we try to talk about when we go on date nights, because we both respect each other's opinions so much and look to each other for input in our businesses, and always have each other as, thanks, Sally. I'm so glad you're here. Hi. She said, this is so awesome. Good. I mean, I had to get Mr. B on a Facebook Live, right? It's only been like 6 years of me doing these. And this is the first one. And we're going to do a Clubhouse later, continue the conversation on Clubhouse. Kevin will actually be at his office, so we won't be like sitting next to each other, but that way we can have more of a conversation. You can ask us questions. And please, in the comments, if you have any questions for him or, anything about making that leap, let us know. But the other thing I'll say is, you know, I guess really like, what would you say is kind of a key to a healthy relationship with, you know, supporting someone when they leave their job, having someone support you when you leave your job, and then being in a relationship like two entrepreneur household where, it's all business all the time,
Yeah.
basically.
Well, I think there's like a mutual respect that we have for each other. And I think
Yeah.
that's super critical. Is that we're both hardworking people that have grit, and we're gonna fight, and we're gonna go use our networks and figure it out. So I think that's great. I mean, that's I'm lucky. I'm very lucky to have that. So like betting on you is very easy. Um,
Same.
for I don't know, to keep the relationship, I think you have to have space. Like you have to have
Yeah.
your own space in the house. You have to have your own space. Like I'm so happy I have this office. It's harder on Jen because the kids are here. She definitely does more than I do on a day-to-day basis, but I have to have that space. It's like super critical for me to be able to like really focus and take phone calls and not have the kids around. So like you have to have space. And what else? What else? What was the question?
Look at this comment from Kelly. Read it.
I made the leap after taking your courses, and it was the best decision for me and my family. That's awesome.
Isn't that the best? Kelly, I'm so happy to hear that. It's so nice to see you on here. I haven't seen you in a little while, so it's awesome to have a check-in. And this is the other cool thing. I mean, for me, like we we have people that have joined our programs from all over the world, and I tell him, like, every new member that we get to welcome, it's a person like Kelly, like Sally, that we're impacting, and I get to tell him, and he's like, that's freaking
Yeah, it's
awesome.
cool. I want to see the map of like where all these people are. It's so cool.
It's so cool. We had Norway and Bosnia and Herzegovina yesterday for the pitch lab, and we created a map. It's not every country that we have members in, but a lot of the, like, we have South Korea and we have Latvia. Like, it's, to me, the coolest thing. And because of our love of travel and, just thinking about the impact that we get to make in the work we do. And, Kevin's impact is very, like, localized, but he's helping business owners, like, realize a legacy, like their legacy, right? And I feel like I have the opportunity to have reach. And so I share that with him, and he's just like, this is so freaking cool that you're
It is.
able to connect with people all over the world. So it makes me more excited, having a partner that really understands my mission, and also, like Kelly said, and she stressed, um, oh my God, she's swamped with PR bookings right now. Awesome. That's so awesome. She said, best decision for me and my family. That's my mission. You all know that with the contrast I had in having a career in law and not seeing it as a path to have the kind of work-life integration or harmony that I was seeking in my life, and then making that pivot, having my partner see the passion that I had for my business, being there. I mean, the other thing too is, like, having a child who has special needs, like, needing us to be really on top of his development and his therapy and stuff. I don't know if I would have caught all of that. And I caught it early,
Hmm.
like probably 10, 11 months. And I was like, we got to get on this. And we're on top of it. It's hard. Would you say that's probably the
Yeah, and
hardest?
10 years later, we're still
11, 11.
well, 10 years after you caught it,
Right.
we're still playing catch up and trying
Yeah.
to meet new experts all the time.
Yeah. Wouldn't you say that's probably like one of the biggest challenges that we have?
For sure, because the energy is like, his energy just kind of takes over the whole house.
Yeah, it's hard. So we have to, realize that in all of these things, that it's a partnership. I viewed my leaving law and starting my own business as a partnership, that he was helping me feel that confidence, and he was fully bought in because of my passion, and I had a plan, and it was like, it wasn't all figured out. It certainly wasn't all figured out, but it was enough to say, okay, this makes sense. Let's do this. And that was like a decision that I felt would ultimately benefit us in the long run. And his decision to leave, I mean, it took a long time. This is like a lifetime corporate guy with his dad, lifetime corporate guy, like never known anything other than having a corporate stable job.
Yep.
Long line of, like,
Not a lot of entrepreneurs in my family.
no. And my dad's an entrepreneur, and I just always grew up having, my parents around and being flexible and being there for us. So for me, that was like, okay, of course, this is the place I have to get to. But for him, it was like changing his whole vision of what it meant to be a working person, right? And that fear of, like, well, what am I even doing? And I'm like, you'll figure it out. You'll consult. Well, I can't cobble together $2,000 and $3,000, $5,000 consulting jobs to earn an income. Here's the other thing, is that my business with the agency, we're retainer based, which is awesome. This is such a great business model that I am teaching you guys. Retainer based, right? Kelly's got clients lined up. Sally's been working in PR for many, many years and has retainer based clients. That's consistent, predictable, recurring income. Kevin,
I have the opposite. The worst business model in the world, where I may work on a deal for a year and a half, and if it closes, it's great and there's a nice payday, but it may not close. And I may spend a lot of time for $0,
$0.
which is not fun.
It's not fun.
Luckily, I have a pretty good closing rate, but it's a pretty tough way to go, and I certainly could not have done this if we didn't have the stability of what's now Jen's retainer business.
Yeah.
So
I know.
it worked out. It's been working out, but it's it's tough. Every year I got to start fresh
Fresh.
with new projects and new relationships and
Yeah.
new deals, and I have to have a lot of them to make it work.
Well, and he always has a pipeline. So he does a lot of networking, even virtually. They've shifted their entire networking. He's a member of many, many groups, and they have served him really well. And there's an understanding between us. It's not always awesome, but like, in the mornings, getting the kids on Zoom or getting them to school if he had a networking event. But that's his pipeline, and his deal flow could take 3 years from the time he meets a client, tells them what they need to do to make their business worth selling, and then get them a valuation. Maybe the time he lists the business to having a transaction, 6 to 12 months, maybe longer, depending on what the business shape is in. So the deal flow is really long. He's always working on it, and I look at it like for me, there's never been any risk. I've looked at him like, you know what? It's going to happen. Maybe not on your timeline, but we got this. We're a partnership. This is a decision we made together, and it's for his overall happiness. And I just think there's something so empowering and so, oh God. So that I just got a call from our painter. This is the only thing that we have thought about in
A year, all COVID.
all of COVID is like, when is this freaking cabinet refinishing project going to be done? And I can't talk to this guy right now. I told him I had to call at 11. But anyway, I think there's something so empowering and so uplifting. And when you do your own thing, and that confidence that I was able to get by building a business from scratch and doing my thing and working hard to achieve my dream, I needed him to experience that. I needed him to feel that.
Yeah, and
We might have to go get the door. Maybe the other painter will let this guy in. And we're wrapping up here anyway. But yeah, that was. Will you just open the door and yell at him? Like, he's so annoyed. So I have a balcony. I have a balcony right down there.
hello.
Maybe the other painter will let him in. Yeah. So thanks, Ari. Kevin will go let him in. Tell him I'll be down in like 5 minutes. Yeah, that was. Oh my God. Yes. No, they are not. My client Kelly. I did. So she said olive in June. I did my olive in June manicure. I was like, nail polish is nail polish, people. If it's not gel, it chips. This is like any other nail polish. Okay. So I did my olive in June a week ago. No chips. This is legit. I have all my colors here. I have like a million colors. It's worth it. Okay. So no, I really wish I was representing them. Carpet? What is he? Carpenter. Carpenter?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, let him in. That's great. We need that guy. Oh my God. Okay, so come and say bye. People are I'm so glad you guys are liking this topic. So if there's any questions, join us for the Clubhouse chat at 1 p.m. Pacific. Go follow me, and you'll see the chat. I actually have to add you to it. You've never done a Clubhouse chat, have you? First time for everything. He's never done a Facebook Live with me. But I just think this is so important, because this decision, like Kelly, making this decision to start your own business should feel so empowering. It should be a point of connection for you and your partner. And I understand that not everybody is going to have a partner as empowering as mine.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And I've said it a million times on lives. You haven't always been here, but like, I could not have done this without you making me feel invincible. And you do that for me every single day.
That's so nice.
I love you.
And the same thing. I mean, I definitely would have probably still been in the corporate world if I didn't have the confidence to take this leap. And you giving me this time, probably took a year before I was really like self-sufficient. It's a long time, but you trusted me, and now it's great. I'm working hard. I'm helping people, and I have a lot more free time. I went for a hike this morning.
Best.
I played tennis plays
Quite
a bit.
a lot.
So it's great. I have time for hobbies, and
he's so happy.
Still doing all my work and doing a great job. And
And he rides the Peloton like 4 times a week. Like everyone got like COVID 10 pounds, lost weight in COVID because he has all this time. He's not driving the kids to school first thing in the morning, and he's here and he can like plan the calls around everything. So he has the balance and that I think we're all looking for. And I just am so grateful for that. I have like just a happy, well balanced partner, and I think that we complement each other really well. Like our strengths and our weaknesses complement each other really well.
It's true.
Yeah. So, well, thank
Lucky.
you for doing this with me.
You're welcome. It was fun.
Was it fun?
Mhm.
Okay, good. He was like, "What are we talking about?" I'm like, I'll do the talking and you just answer me." But guys, thanks so much for being here. Yeah, this is right. Entrepreneurs kicking ass and supporting each other, believing in each other, yin yang balance. Absolutely. Yeah. And like we practice gratitude. We remind each other every day to, just be grateful and be grateful for each other and our family and our businesses. And, he keeps a gratitude journal. Can I say that?
Mhm.
Yeah. Writes in it, almost daily. Yeah.
Nice.
And we meditate at night, just trying to find balance and bought into, each other's vision for our company goals and the life that we want to build together. So, have a plan, have your passion, share it with your partner, have a time frame, and get everybody bought in and build your dreams together. Do it like Kelly. Awesome, Kelly. I'm so proud of you. I love that check-in. That is great news. But guys, join us at 1 p.m. Pacific for our continue the conversation over on Clubhouse.
All right, I'll be there.
All right, you better be. I know you will. You're very reliable. So awesome, guys. Thank you so much. And we'll see you on Clubhouse. Come with questions. We'll bring you up on stage and we can, bring your partner. Let's have a conversation. Okay?
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.